Is the organization of Jehovah's Witnesses no part of the world as they claim to be, and most importantly, as they ask you to be? Let's talk about that today. So in this video that I've been preparing in my head first, and by jotting down a few notes and things, I'm going to give you 3 proofs that are hopefully going to convince you that this organization of Jehovah's Witnesses is by no means no part of this world. On the contrary, they are very much involved with the world and very much into this world. So let's start with the last one. We're going to go 3, 2, and then number 1. Let's start. So the third reason why the organization of Jehovah's Witnesses is very much from this world and in this world and part of this world, and by no means no part of the world as they claim to be. It's very root. You know, there were no Jehovah's Witnesses during the Middle Ages, during the Dark Ages, or even during the Renaissance, you know. Jehovah's Witnesses started very close to us in the history of mankind. It started late 19th century. So it's very close to us as far as the human history goes, right? And do not confuse the first Christian as the Jehovah's Witness, because they have nothing in common whatsoever. So if you're one of Jehovah's Witnesses and start saying, well, the first Jehovah's Witnesses were first Christians, well, get to know your Bible first, and then you come back and tell me that. But we're not going to talk about that. We are going to talk about the roots of the organization of Jehovah's Witnesses, which started with Charles Taze Russell. Jehovah's Witnesses like to say that Charles Taze Russell sold all his belongings, sold his business to become a Christian, to start studying the Bible and start the Bible student group that he started back late 19th century. But 2 things they are not telling you. 2 things that he never gave up on being. 1, being a Freemason, and 2, being very much a businessman still. And there's nothing wrong whatsoever being a businessman and a Christian at the same time. That's not the problem. The problem with him is that he was a crooked businessman. He was a con artist, really. And actually, if you read articles, if you hear documentaries in regards to Charles Taze Russell, he is nicknamed many times a crooked businessman or a con artist. And there is a reason for that. You know, he was just not called a con artist or a crooked businessman for no reason. I can give you 2 examples. One is the miracle wheat. For example, the miracle wheat case. He decided that at some point he had found some miracle wheat, which he was selling $60 the bushel. And of course, that was not true. That wheat was no more miracle than any other wheat. He was just a con artist. And another thing that actually he did not sell, but he lied about, he had supposedly found a cure for cancer. Again, a miracle cure for cancer. I'm going to put the link under this video of what I'm saying here, okay? It's been reported, it's in writing. I'm going to put the link of a whole book of all the dishonest things that Russell ever did, and I'm going to put a link to a 2-page article where they talk about the cancer cure and the miracle wheat. Okay, so you'll know at least there's some proof to that. There's some basis. It's not something that just comes out of my head. The second thing, he never gave up being a Freemason. If you don't believe that Charles Taze Russell not only was a Freemason before he started being a Jehovah's Witness, but all the way until he died. Go to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and you'll find his tomb in a Masonic cemetery nearby a pyramid that was, put there for him because he believed that pyramids had some links with God. And on that pyramid, you can see the words Watchtower and Bible Tract Society. And when you come closer to that pyramid, you can clearly read Watchtower Bible and Tract Society. So that alone is a testimony forever, at least until the cemetery is destroyed, or until they destroy the tomb and everything else, is a testimony that Charles Taze Russell was a Freemason while he claimed to be anointed by God to be a true Christian. And why is that a problem? Well, if you know anything about Masonry, it is directly linked to Satanism to start with. That's pretty bad. That's as bad as they make it, right? And one thing I wanted to ask you that I've heard recently, why do you think that the meeting place of Jehovah's Witnesses are called Kingdom Hall? Jehovah's Witnesses are the only Christian denomination that does not call its meeting place a church. Every other Christian religion is calling their place of meeting church. Why Jehovah's Witnesses is not calling it church? Well, for two reasons. One reason is that Jehovah's Witnesses like to have a word different than anyone else because they want to be different and because it's very cult-like culture. Cults like to have their own words for things, so that defines them. So that's the reason number one why they do not want to use church. But the reason number two, the reason why they use the word hall, do you know why they use the word hall? Well, because in Masonry, the place of meeting is called a Masonic hall. And that's where Kingdom Hall comes from, because the roots of Jehovah's Witnesses is coming from Masonry. So they took that word Kingdom Hall because of the Masonic background that they have. So for those two reasons I just mentioned, one, because they want to be different, so they did not want to use church, even though every other Christian religion is using this word church. And secondly, they use the word hall because of their Masonic background. Another thing that Jehovah's Witnesses can't deny is that there used to be a little cross, that's what they call it, a little cross, on the top left-hand corner of the Watchtower. Well, if it was just a cross, actually it would be no problem because, by the way, that would be another video as well. By the way, Jesus did die on the cross and not on a stake, not on a pillar, straight up pillar. He did die on a cross. So if there was just a normal cross at the corner of the Watchtower, that wouldn't be a big problem at all. But what they do not tell you, it was not just a cross. It was a Masonic cross, which I'm going to show you right here. There you have it, a cross inside a little crown, which is the symbol of the Freemasons. So as you can see, this is not just a regular cross. It's a cross inside a little crown, and that is the symbol of the Freemasons. So there are many different, many more, I should say, traces of Masonry when you look at Jehovah's Witnesses organization. But these two, the fact that Masonic cross, Masonic symbol, used to appear on the Watchtower, which still bears the same name today. It's still called the Watchtower. Their main publication is still called the Watchtower. The fact that this Masonic cross Masonic symbol appeared on their watchtower, and the fact that to this day they call their place of meeting a kingdom hall, just like Freemasons call their place of meeting a Masonic hall. So that was the number 3, the third reason why Jehovah's Witnesses are very much part of this world. Let's look at number 2 now. Second reason why this organization is very much part of this world. They are actually in the business of real estate. If you don't believe me, they are actually going under an official name, which is Watchtower Brooklyn Real Estate, and they even have a website for it. See, while they're telling you to sell your one piece of property, when they're telling you to sell your house and go serve where the need is great or whatever, when they're encouraging you, when they have the nerves to encourage you to sell your one piece of property, to sell your house, they own themselves hundreds, thousands of properties, because they are very much in the business of building, selling, buying, and selling. They are in the business of real estate. And if you are fool enough to not see that they are making fun of you, really, really, when they're asking you to sell your one house, to sell your one piece of property, while they own all those properties and make money from them. I mean, that's really a shame. So the next time you hear one of the governing body members, doing its little dance and preaching, asking you to, to give more, to sell your house and to serve where the need is great, remember that those guys own thousands of properties all over the world, and that they even have a company name, and I'm going to put the name, by the way, of all the different names they're known under, but one of them is called the Watchtower Brooklyn Real Estate. So just be aware, a religion that pretends to be no part of the world and encourage you day in and day out to be no part of the world, that owns all these properties and really is in the business of real estate. The business of real estate, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's very much part of this world. If you need to sell your house because your house is going to be destroyed at Armageddon, they don't need to buy more properties. They don't need to build more properties either. What tells them that your house will be destroyed and what they are building is not going to be destroyed? That makes no sense at all. What does make sense, though, is that they are making fun of you. If you are still one of Jehovah's Witnesses and still give money to those guys, they are making fun of you. They're taking advantage of you. They are in the business of real estate while they are telling you to sell your one piece of property. And some of you guys have done it, and that's very, very sad. So that's the second reason why this organization that is lying to you is definitely part of this world. And here we are, the number 1 reason why this so-called religion is very much part of this world. And you know what that is? It's that it's really a corporation. Jehovah's Witnesses organization is just hiding under the hat of being a religion, but is really a corporation. You know how they say that the enterprise McDonald's is really not in the business of food? It just looks like they are in the business of restaurant, of the business of food, of selling food in a restaurant, but they are really in the business of real estate, because what really counts for them is to make sure that Everywhere they have a restaurant, it's where they're going to make a lot of business because it's where a lot of people are to be found. Well, in the case of Jehovah's Witnesses organization, they are hiding under the hat of being a religion, but they're really a corporation. They're really a business. If you go to the link down below of this gentleman that has done a tremendous job, a tremendous work of finding pretty much all the places where this organization has invested money, bonds, and stocks in companies that build weapons, companies that build war machines, and other companies that are, according to them, according to their own teaching, companies that are something detestable for Jehovah God. They are investing in those companies. So I suggest, if you don't know the video series of this person here, and I don't even know if he's an ex-JW, he's just very well informed. He has done a lot of research. And he's found all the different companies that this so-called religion, which is really a corporation, has invested in. Why do you think a religion that is calling itself to be no part of this world is investing so much money, hundreds of millions of dollars in companies to make more money still in a system that is going to be destroyed yesterday, right? So that again, if you do not see that, it means that you are a fool. And that's what the Watchtower wants you to be. They want you to be fools that believe their biggest lies and that you keep giving them money. When they're asking you for money, they're lying to you. In the video that I'm linking here down below, the guy is saying that for the year 2001 alone, the Watchtower made $951 million for that year. Do you know what is $951 million? That's almost $1 billion. Why does a company, a religion, see, I just call them a company because the truth comes out of my mouth. Why in the world a religion that is no part of this world and that knows that we are going to all be destroyed tomorrow? Why would they do that? It's because they don't believe for a second what they're saying. They're just hiding under the hat of being a religion, but they are really a corporation. And here I'm going to give you all the names that this, not me, I haven't found that, this gentleman from the video I'm talking about has found the Watchtower to be known under. So let me read those names to you. They are known under Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, we know that. They are known under Watchtower Society. They are known under the Watchtower. They are known under Jehovah's Witnesses. They are known under Jehovah's Christian Witnesses. They are known under the Christian Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. They are known under jw.org. They are known under the European Association of Jehovah Christian Witnesses. They are known under the International Bible Students Association. Number 10, Watchtower Bible. Number 11, the Religious Order of Jehovah's Witnesses. Number 12, Kingdom Support Services Incorporation. Number 13, Mountain Brook Limited Partnership. Number 14, Watchtower Associates Limited. Number 15, Bible Education Works. And number 16, Watchtower Brooklyn Real Estate. He came up with those 16 different official business names that the organization of Jehovah's Witnesses is known under. And the reason why they have so many names is not because it's a religion that is no part of this world. It's because it's an enterprise. It's because it's a corporation that is very much part of this world. So don't forget, don't ever forget that. If you decide to stay in this religion, at least you owe yourself to know the truth. So here you have your three main reasons why, or three main proofs that this organization, this so-called religion, is very much part of this world. Again, I'm going to resume them for you. Number three, because of Charles Taze Russell being their roots all the way to this day and being a very worldly man, a crooked businessman and a Freemason at that. And to this day, that is why they're calling their Kingdom Hall Kingdom Hall. That is why. It's because of their Masonic roots that are very much from this world. Number two, they are in the real estate business. And don't forget, the next time they ask you to sell your house, please don't forget that while you sell your only house, they're buying hundreds of properties, building them, selling them, you name it. They are in the business of real estate. And number three, it's because they are just a big corporation hidden, or number one rather, they're just a big corporation hidden under the hat of being a religion, but they could not care less about being a religion, believe me. They are really a corporation. And if you are not fully aware yet what type of organization Jehovah's Witnesses is, well, believe me, I was not nearly aware of what I'm aware just a year ago. I was completely in darkness still. I have left this religion 10 years ago and never ever wanted to go back for many different reasons. But still, I still defended Jehovah's Witnesses anytime I could. And to this day, I do defend the poor victim of Jehovah's Witnesses because they are two groups. When we talk about Jehovah's Witnesses, you have the leaders team and you have the followers team. And the followers team knows nothing about what the leaders do, okay? That you learn it only basically mostly when you are out, but not only when you're out, but when you're out and awake. Because I was out for 10 years, but definitely not awake, obviously. I was awake to some, at least some extent, obviously, because I moved on with my life and created my business and everything. But I was not fully awake as far as what those guys are capable of doing, the leaders team. So if you are in the team of the followers, even elders, even elders are completely in the fog. They don't know much. They may know a little bit more than if you are a non-elder, but not very much more. You have to know what those guys are doing to you, because what they're doing to you, you do not know, because you are in the other team. Don't forget, Jehovah's Witnesses is two teams, the leaders and the followers. And really, I thought until rather recently, until this past February, I thought that, if you had to be in a cult, well, Jehovah's Witnesses was still the best cult to be in, right? Well, I changed my mind. I think that Jehovah's Witnesses cult is right up there with Scientology. It's really as bad. It's different bad, but it's as bad. And unfortunately, the media are more interested in Scientology than they are in Jehovah's Witnesses. And I think it's because they know more about the dirty little secrets of Scientology than they know about the dirty little secrets of the organization of Jehovah's Witnesses. And I've learned things about this religion that I will never make a video about because it's so dark. And I try to keep my videos, to the extent that something I want to talk about. There are things that are so disgusting and dark I don't even want to talk about. One of the ugliest thing that I did mention in one of my videos are the subliminal images. If you are one of Jehovah's Witnesses and don't know about the subliminal images, what it is, what it does to you, and what type of subliminal images the Watchtower is feeding you every day, you need to know that. And by the way, there is an older video, but that I just watched few days ago from Mikey and Kim, where they explain to you. They have a video series of where they're showing you the subliminal images that the Watchtower has created and published and put in front of your eyes and in front of the eyes of your children. Those subliminal images are usually two kinds, pornographic kind and demonic kind. They are the two kinds that they are using, meaning the two worst kind you can think of. Yes, that religion that is called pure and holier than thou and no part of this world is feeding you and your children subliminal images. But they even do things worse than this. I mean, could there be anything worse than pedophilia, hiding pedophile and feeding you pornographic and satanistic, demonic images, subliminal images? Yeah, there are things worse than that. But I'm not going to talk about it. And I'm never going to make videos about it for two reasons. Because it's so dark, don't even want to talk about it. And because I can't prove it. And I don't really want to make videos that I can't prove I wasn't there. It's just things that I heard, I'm digging since February, digging this cult. Because I gave them 10 years of my life and my brother is still there, my sister-in-law, my aunt, they're still there. So I really, really, really want to know what they're about, how dangerous they are. And the more you look, as the Bible says, when you look, you find. And gosh, do I found stuff? So yes, if you are, by the way, someone from the media watching this, stop talking about Scientology alone and start getting interested in this very awful, dangerous religion that is called the Organization of Jehovah's Witnesses. That's all I can say. So beware. Be aware. You need to be aware in what you are in. If you are one of Jehovah's Witnesses, if you are on this side, on that team, the followers that know nothing about what those guys on the leaders team are doing. Hope you liked this video. If you did, like it, share it, comment, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.